What's up, guys? Me, Brandon Stewart, back at you with Stewart's Productions. Today we're going to go ahead and show you how we're changing Gobos in the Elation Platinum Spot 5R Pro. This is pretty much the same concept with most moving heads in the market today. And we got the Gobos from Apollo through our local dealer here in Fort Worth, Texas at Magic, etc. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Alright guys, here's the moving head we're going to change it out in. The one is standing straight up. And I'm walking around. We're going to have all 4 of them. 3 of them already got Gobos already installed. So we're gonna go ahead and install these Gobos. I got on this plate here. So let's go ahead and take a closer look here. All right, guys. Here's the Gobo right here. You can probably barely see it, but yep, that's it. It's a breakup pattern. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to fit how this little guy goes into a intelligent light fixture. So, yep, here we go. All right, first and foremost, what we got to do is it's always good to keep your Gobos in a plate or something so that way you won't lose them. I got this dark granite countertop here, so first and foremost, we're going to use a not flat, but a Phillips screwdriver. And we're going to loosen this locking pin so the moving head can tilt. Okay, and I'm going to loosen the panel as well so we can do that. There's a lot of professional fixtures you can lock these because they won't move during transport. Okay, so basically we're going to take this screwdriver, turn it, and loosen these screws up. Okay. It's been a while since I opened these up, and then you have a cable that kind of keeps this thing secured from falling down. If this light fixture was hanging up on a truss or a ceiling somewhere or a nightclub or a church, this won't fall down and break or hit somebody in the head. But anyway, I'm gonna lock this right there in place, and I'm gonna find the Gobo I want to pull out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in there. Let's check this out. Right here, we have the Gobo wheel. All right, this Gobo wheel, we have what we call a slot and lock system. And when I find the Gobo I want to take out, which is this one, you pretty much lift up on this little tab at the very bottom, and you basically pull the whole thing out, like as if it was like an ink cartridge or something like that from a printer. All right, so we're gonna show you how we change this out here a little bit closely. So I'm gonna adjust the camera. All right, guys, so basically we have the slot and lock Gobo holder, okay? There's like a little small little spring, really small right there in that corner. Basically you need to put your thumb around the edge of the circle. So that way that spring won't pop out in the middle of the room and you'd be looking for it for the next, cajillion years. Not literally, but you know what I mean. So basically you just take this little screwdriver and, get that started. I just pop it out just like that, and then that little spring just goes right there. Dump the Gobos, kind of like give it a little tap on the edge, and they just fall straight out. Take the new Gobo, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this little Gobo, and we're gonna drop it right off in here. All right, and here's pretty much a little ring donut looking little guy right here. Just right there right on top of it. That's pretty much for your glass Gobos, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick it back down there, just like we did. Oops, you don't want to do that either. And then now we're gonna pretty much slide this spring back off in there. It's a lot easier. Elation has made this very easy in this case, and there's some other lighting manufacturers that do the exact same thing. I'm not gonna name any names, but I've had them all, and a lot of them decide to go this route because it's a lot easier. I call it a slot and lock system. But yeah, here we go. It's kind of hard to do this behind the camera, but yeah, we almost got it. There we go. It's almost in. There we go. Oop, hang on. First of all, there we go. I was upside down. Here we go. Should just pop in there in 2 seconds. Here we go. Sorry guys, it's kind of hard to do this with the camera on the way. You want to make sure that this spring doesn't pop back out. Now we got most of it in there. I'm gonna take it. Oh, come on, man. Get your butt in there. There we go. She's in. So we're gonna take this and slide it right back in the moving head. And that way you can kind of get an idea of how it goes back in. And then we're gonna turn it on so you can see what kind of Gobo it is. All right, so basically we're looking right back at the moving head here. And we're gonna take the slot and lock cartridge type Gobo holder and pretty much slide it right back in there. There's a little tab. You kind of gotta go in at an angle and then like just pretty much like that, and then hold the Gobo wheel. And there we go. She snapped right in, just about. Oh yeah. There she go. Snap it right in. And it should be a continuous scroll here, as you can see, so that way you know you got it in there. So that's pretty much how it goes. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this little sucker on and show you what it looks like. But first and foremost, I'm gonna make sure you put the cover back on, because you don't want to turn this light on with the cover loose like that. So zoom out there for you. There's that. Nice, make sure it's all aligned first. There we go. She's on. And these screws don't come completely out. They have a spring in them that kind of help you get it loose, but also there's little pins in there to hold the screws in there. So these screws don't come out completely, which is nice. That way you don't have to worry about losing them. All right, I've had these moving heads for almost, let's see, going on a little over 2 years. They use a bulb, 2,000 hour bulb. The bulbs have less than 200 hours on them, you know, but the fixture itself has over 1,500 hours of actual staying on. But the bulb only has, again, less than 200 hours on it, because I actually go in the DMX software and turn the bulb off. You never want to turn a fixture go and unplug a fixture like this with the bulb on. You need to turn the bulb off and then let the cooling fans cool that fixture, the bulb down. You want to cool the bulb down, because what happens is over time you start cooking all the components on the inside. I have LED fixtures, LED moving heads. They do fade, and I kid you not, an LED moving head, with my past experience, is that pretty much the LED faded by 50%. And what sucks about it is that chip, and LED moving heads, those chips can run you between $300 to about $1,200 for a bulb, whereas this bulb here is like $150, $200. Got a brand new light fixture again. How long are they going to be sticking around with this technology? I don't know, but 5R, 2R, 15R, they're like a projector bulb. But anyway, let's go ahead and fire this puppy up. So basically, you see the other one going through a reset sequence. We're going to plug in 2 of them for right now. I could plug 3 of these in a single 20 amp circuit, not a problem. Being a bulb fixture. This fixture's been out for a while. I don't know if Elation is going to discontinue it, but I believe they are going to discontinue it this year. Still make parts for it. Like I said, I haven't had any problems with these. I know some people have problems with all types of fixtures. most cases it's a user error. So let's go ahead and grab the computer, get these fired up, and I'll be right back. All right, I'll give you a little insight here. These light fixtures are wireless DMX built in. Not wireless power, wireless DMX. There's no DMX cables plugged in. It's basically, you know, I can control them wirelessly. As you can see here, they're moving pretty much on their own. They're not sound active. I don't know why you would buy a fixture this expensive and make it sound active. It's pretty retarded. But anyway, just wanted to give you a little heads up on that. So we got them fired up. We're gonna go ahead and then show you what that Gobo looks like. All right, so basically, I got the camera adjusted so you can barely see me, so we won't have a blowout. But yeah, we're going to check this Gobo out. All right, we got the 2 meter ones here. So first, we're going to go ahead and initialize them, and we're going to face them towards the wall over there. All right, so I hope y'all can see that there. And look at the camera. Yeah, let's turn this. I'll do this a little bit. So anyway, sorry, house been on construction here. About to add a lot of decorations, put new curtains up over there. But anyway, let's go ahead and tilt that down just a little bit and start scrolling through some Gobos here. Let's check that out. Actually, focus. We got the zoom. We can actually zoom out to 42 degrees on that, which is pretty dope. So 42 all the way down to 11 degree. Yeah, which is pretty darn nice. So we'll go ahead and let's adjust the focus there. And let's see the focus. All right, let's go to the Gobo wheel. Want to check that Gobo out. There's a heart. That was one of the custom Gobos we got from Apollo, you know, which is pretty cool. All right, there's the breakup pattern that we were looking for. That's pretty much it. And we can pretty much zoom out and refocus it. And voila. That is the breakup pattern we bought. And move this other light fixture out of the way. Go. I'll probably say we're about a good 22 feet from that wall over there. So it's spread out pretty good. If you want to throw that into like a prism mode, you know, you have to refocus it, of course. There you go. And then you can rotate the prism a little bit. Nice and slow. You can even rotate the Gobo itself. So let's turn the prism off. And you can also rotate the Gobo. Do it nice and slow. And it's got really good high-end stepper motors in that fixture as well, so you don't have to worry about it being like really jittery. So let's turn the prism back on. And that's something pretty cool. You can actually throw these breakup patterns up on walls with some uplighting, make it look nice, you know. So that's it on the Gobo. Changing out and showing you what it looks like. I'm pretty much done for the night. Till then, practice and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I got more coming. All right, peace.